in this area specifically.
But they still had hundreds and hundreds of homes that are already built that don't have a place to recreate. So I would like us to just make sure we're looking into that from a code enforcement, that we're not exceeding occupancy without open space. It's just, I just got some feedback from some of the residents. They're getting very frustrated. So, because they were promised a year ago, and then they said this year, and it's still not going to be open, probably, if at all, this summer. I'm done, thank you. And thank you for being can comply, or complies on everything. It wasn't even can comply and provided. So I appreciate everything in the packet. These are just some of my things. I personally am not comfortable with two-tone, just that. And then my other question.
The only thing I was going to add is we've also been getting those emails as well that the residents are frustrated that that's not open. We have been pushing the developer. So we will continue to push them to get all of the things done that they need to open
But we can
that.
push them, but if they're not meeting their obligation, then we can stop occupancy. Nothing pushes a developer faster than telling them they can't, a home that's been built, they can't sell.
Right, and we'll double check. Off the top of my head, I don't think that that's an issue right at the moment, but we will double check.
But if it's close, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Could I just ask a question? The pond has been filling for a while. When do we anticipate the pond being fully completed?
It's not an easy answer. First of all, Lennar is the developer and no one else. We do have a partner who works with us on the amenities. That is DAI. They are also heavily intertwined with the HOA. So as I hear the comments, they don't fall on deaf ears. We have built the bulk of the houses out there in the area, Primrose, Wild Rose. So we experience the same challenge you do, and that is contributing to service districts, paying $20 million service charges. Our homeowners are not able to utilize amenities that they are paying for in their HOA fees. What you're saying doesn't fall on deaf ears. We do have an agreement with our development partner that they will be allowed to manage the park and the amenity, and that is stayed in place. There has been some challenges. Probably the easiest way to say it is the horse got out ahead of the cart, and at this point, the amenity is red tagged until the city is satisfied with plans and other things to coordinate with.
So the city's stopping you from developing this?
There is currently a red tag on the project. We are not able to move forward. I believe that we are close to getting that resolved, and at that point, we are just as eager as you are to get out from underneath the scorn and the scrutiny of the current community and the inability to use the product.
So construction was started before the site plan was approved. So we're close to approving the site plan probably this week to get them moving forward on construction.
Like the gates and all that kind of thing?
To be more clear, that there was not a lot of urgency to get the plans approved, and there was a decision made to install and to continue working on the site plan improvements, knowing full well that they had never received approved drawings from the city or site plan approval. And we kind of were allowing them to, try to balance helping them fast track those amenities, while at the same time, we became increasingly concerned that they were installing stuff and we had yet to even approve that, some of that being public improvements and water lines and such. And so at some point, it got to a point where, we said, you please stop and let's finish the plans, because we hate for you to work things out, like, it wasn't for the plans.
Okay.
So I think there was a lot of focus, there was not a lot of focus on getting the plans approved, since they didn't really, they decided for without it. But now that we've allowed that, they would come back and there's a lot of focus and urgency to get the plans approved. So we wrap this up.
And Lennar's been a great partner, and we appreciate what they're working with us on. Again, we're coordinating with them so that we can have access to the cemetery and things of that nature. So we do appreciate where we're at and where we're going, and we've learned some things about the process and the project. And as Jeremy pointed out, you know, I think we're close to having these issues resolved and everyone moving forward happy.
I guess my one concern with the color thing, kind of like Michael was saying, was just the residents that already live there. So I feel like they were expecting something and they got that, but now it's going to be different than what their expectation was. And if it's not what our expectation either.
And our code.
Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with that as well. That's just, that was my opinion on that. I feel like we owe it to the other residents that have already, bought, in that they deserve the same thing, right? So,
If I may, these are the same elevations that were approved in Village 3 that you see on the north side of Wild Blossom Boulevard in the west side of Mountain View Corridor.
with the same color tone and everything on them?
So if I may, we don't save money. 3 colors versus 2 colors. We don't save money. It's an application. What drives this is feedback from the market, current trends, what people want. So it's really not about saving money. It's about being current. It's about offering what the public wants, and things change. We can look at these products that we started 5-6 years ago, and we didn't do farmhouse, and then the farmhouse became very popular. And the farmhouse really is, I think it's a sharp look, but, it's often just a monotone, a white or a gray. So these are good-looking products, and we don't do this, we don't do it to save money, and there's really,
I'm going to agree to disagree. 3-tone paint job, 2-tone paint job, everyone charges more. Let's just be honest. You have to tape things off. You have,
listen, I hear that, and
I built multiple houses myself. I'm not a developer, but it's like,
So I don't think, I appreciate your comment. I don't think we're shortchanging the community. I think we provide
it's fine. That's your opinion, yeah.
well-built homes, and I believe that, it's all working together, right? We're working to help get the cemetery soon. We're working on, trying to get a park which maybe has not been managed as well as it can, to get back online. And so I just feel we work together as a team, and I believe that the request is reasonable, and I believe that the product is really good looking. And we do have a third color. It's a garage door. It's a nice bright white.
That's still 2. Gray and white. White trim, white door, gray. That's,
Can you just explain to me a little bit, Mark, just because I'm newer, right? Does this happen often where developers are coming in and asking for something that goes against what's already in code?
our code requires 3.
Yeah. I mean, is it, so they come with their first concept and it's saying, hey, we have this 3-tone because that follows our code, and then they come back later saying, hey, we'd like to do 2 colors. Is it common? Is it not? I don't know.
Well, I'm going to let planning jump on that one.
I've been more involved with those, so I was going to say that, we have seen this request, particular with the farmhouse style, the board and batten product. We've seen applicants request that more so with this particular product. We've seen that request in other community plans as well with a farmhouse style. And I don't know if that's what this style is, sorry.
This isn't farmhouse.
What is this style called?
This would be contemporary or modern. This isn't your farmhouse. Farmhouses won't have the porches and.
Okay, we have seen it with farmhouse for sure, and we've seen it with some other styles. I'm not that familiar with this style,
We
so,
see it all the time.
yeah. So we have approved that when it's specific to a style and it's characteristic of that particular style.
Okay, thank you.
Well, but then they also have a lot more character. They have the gables and all of the porches and the
Even just
railings and
colors,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, where this is just a bunch of,
Can, someone mentioned, so we've approved 2-tone elsewhere in Wildflower.
In Village Plan 3,
Okay.
In the farmhouse ones that have more architectural.
and the style of there are two different styles and two different builders, I believe, for the multifamily in Wildflower, but these are the ones that are directly fronting onto Wild Blossom.
And it is really interesting, when you go drive through, everybody has a different opinion and perspective. And so it really does come down to that, I think, when there's, when I drive through, I like some of them and I don't like some of them. And
So should we change our code? Because we keep having multiple requests to go to two-tone, so then why do we have code if we're not gonna follow code? That's why I get frustrated, because like,
well, and we certainly can have them follow code. That is, you don't have to support this request.
Okay. Other comments from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I'll just say my last comment and I'll make that. I mean, I do agree that we want to follow code and things like that. But considering it's been done elsewhere within Wildflowers, similar type of things, I think in all fairness, I'm okay with it here. As long as, and I don't have the condition in front of me, as long as the condition is specific to that particular type and it doesn't expand throughout the rest of the village plan, it is pretty limited. From a consistency standpoint, I would be okay with it. I do agree with the comments that were made earlier, but that's where, in this particular aspect, I can be okay with it. That's just my opinion. So that being said, if you're all right, Mayor, I'll make a motion.
I'll entertain your motion.
I move, we're on business item
Two.
2. I move that we approve business item 2 as stated on the agenda with all staff findings and conditions.
I have a first from Councilman Wilden,
Second.
second from Councilman Wadman. Any further discussion?
I just don't think that because we missed it once, we should have to miss it twice, because I wouldn't have approved it. And I don't remember a conversation around two-tone and three-tone. And so I'm going to actually personally go back to the minutes to make sure that staff actually presented that that was a change, that was actually in the conditions, or did it just get slipped through? Because I don't remember any kind of conversation around going from a 3-2 to a two-tone on the other side of Mountain View.
It was not specifically brought up. It was something that was in there. It wasn't specifically brought up. And then there was a debate between the developer and staff when those got approved.
So it slipped through.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for being honest, and I've always appreciated that about you, Sarah. Your history and experience in the city is greatly appreciated, and I appreciate your honesty. So my vote will be based on that as additional comments. Thank you.
Okay.
Can sorry,
Yeah.
question on my own motion. Are the conditions, Sarah, are you comfortable the existing conditions on there and how it's listed in the village plan would limit the two-tone to a specific area?
I really, it's a hard question, really. I think if it's limited to a certain product, that's what we've done in other ones.
So maybe I'd amend my motion to state that, the two-tone applicable is limited to the specific product included in the updated village plan.
Okay, I have an amended first.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
Okay.
not with the new stuff, new findings.
Okay, so the original motion stands. Councilman Wadman,
Nay.
Carn,
Nay.
Wilden,
Aye.
McComber,
Nay.
Barton.
Nay.
Motion fails, 4-1. I will entertain another motion.
I move that we approve Wildflower Village Plan 8 located approximately west of Mountain View Corridor and Wild Blossom Boulevard. Ordinance 24-20 dated today with all staff findings and conditions, but requiring that the development, this village plan meets code and has three-tone paint.
Second it.
Okay, I have a
Sorry,
first
discussion
from
first.
Councilwoman McComber, second from Councilwoman Barton. Any further discussion? Wadman,
Yay.
Barton,
Aye.
Aye.
McComber,
Aye.
Carn,
Aye.
Wilden.
Nay.
Motion passes 4-1. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the Title 19, Land Development Code.
Mayor and council, I'm presenting this one as well, but I just wanted to note that David Jellin did do a lot of work with me on this, even though he's not here tonight. This is a city-initiated code amendment on retaining walls. It's making 2 minor edits to our 1906 code on fencing and landscaping. It has been a longstanding issue that the height for all fences falls under the retaining walls section. So we just separated it there and labeled it height, just to make it clearer in case there's ever an issue. And also, for retaining walls, we really wanted to ensure that our Title 1910 retaining wall standards are being met across the city. However, 1910 only applies to slopes 15% and up. So we just wanted to add language here that all retaining walls need to follow those regardless of steep slope.
Okay. Any questions on this code? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve amendments to Title 19 Land Development Code, City of Saratoga Springs 1906, affecting retaining walls and height, I guess. City-initiated ordinance 24-21, dated today, with all staff findings and conditions.
I have a first from Councilman McComber,
Second.
second from Councilman Wadman. Any further discussion? Wilden?
Aye.
Carn?
Aye.
Wadman?
Aye.
McComber?
Aye.
Barton?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We have the work session on the sign code. Thank you.
Sorry to make you stay late twice. All right, we'll get it done.
We just like having people in the audience.
A few friends.
So this came about, we got feedback. I did some studies on a few different cities and we did some comparisons last August. This is background for the new council members. And so we wanted to do some changes or go through and see what needed to be changed in the sign code since there's some things that, to try and, I don't know, be better. So yeah, this specific direction is to look at digital changeable copy, window signs, temporary signs. Do you want me to read through them, or have you guys
No, we're
had a
good.
chance to look through the
Look through the
packet?
packet.
I was gonna say,
I do have a question. Oh, Kevin just left.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
He's
There
back.
he is. Kevin, I have a question actually for you. I'm a little bit concerned when I was reading this packet earlier on the temporary allow now hiring signs anytime at 4 feet by 8 feet to be more business friendly. That's content. I'm worried that we're legislating content.
Right, it would be, and I haven't really reviewed these yet, the proposed changes. But
So
that
this is a
would-
work session, so.
That would absolutely be regulating content.
So I think that we need to
So-
figure out a way, if you can look at the law and how it's worked, that we can allow them to do now hiring somehow. If not, if it's not possible, then,
I will look at that, but.
yeah, I don't, yeah, because that just, I mean, you've given us plenty of presentations on that in the past, so.
it's a great catch.
I actually really like all of the changes. I mean, that was just my concern, but, I mean.
I want to be
think
able to
we're-
allow it, but yeah, we can't.
But I love that we're being more, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the digital stuff. I mean, I've made it clear, but we are making an effort to like dim it at night when you don't have to have it as bright. Just working with businesses to let them have that success that they believe they need to have to be successful. At the same time, still protecting this resort type feel. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, look at Park City. They're way more restrictive than we are, right? And so if any developer ever tries to tell me we're super restrictive, I'm like, Park City, what? I mean, like, look, you can know because look at McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't look like McDonald's in Park City. So I just feel like we're really making an effort here. I hate that we're always having to go back to our sign regulation, but I feel like we've made a really good step forward here, and I appreciate all the hard work that staff's put into it. Just that one about no hiring, Kevin will look into that for us.
Is there any other comments on the sign code from looking at it?
No, what does temporary mean? What is, for me, did we say?
Have time
60 days.
Means it outlasts Wilden.
We have like a 60-day window.
60-day, okay.
If they poke in the grass or like on the active development, they have a big 4x8 sheet.
Yeah,
plywood
okay.
size sign, stuff like that.
Okay, thanks.
We don't allow like the flying things. They could have them, but they have to get a permit, you know, and it's pretty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great question.
And then we were gonna take a look at primary signs, see what the different sizes look like, and try and address these different, anyways. Okay,
So,
so,
all four sides of the detached canopy, but then that means that we can't have 4 on the canopy, 3 on the building, and 2 monuments out in front. Now they've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's, Sarah, maybe think about that a little bit. Like, if you have 4 on the canopy, then you don't have maybe one of these or something. I don't know.
well,
Because that's 9 signs now.
currently you can, because so if you look at like the Smith's Fuel Center or Costco Fuel Center, any of those, they have a sign on every side, whether it be just a logo or whether it be the name or whatever, but they do currently. And the code allows it. But
I
they're
think-
limited on size.
Though to Michael's point would be, you know, you reference Smith's and Costco and they're ways away from the building.
Yeah.
But then you go to like a Maverick or a Holiday Oil and they're really close. I don't see the point of one facing the building with the 2 cars.
Literally, you have a logo facing the logo on the building, like what, they're gonna kiss or something?
Okay.
But I think some spacing, like Costco, Smith's, I think it's great. Put it on 4
So-
sides, let it go.
Like a Walmart.
So add like a
There's
distance
almost like a
requirement,
separate-
something?
It's almost like it's a separate structure in
Smith's
the,
and
Yeah.
Costco area.
where, and maybe as you're working on this code, because you're gonna be looking at the canopies, you say, if it's a canopy as within the small footprint, or if it's a canopy that's away from the main structure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Because then it's obvious, you need to let people know it's a gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Walmart was looking at doing, well, because this is really good, because Walmart's actually been looking to do a gas station. I know they stopped.
I emailed them a while ago and I don't know what's going on with that.
They
Yeah,
didn't like that we made them do a small one like they had to do in South Jordan.
no.
Because South Jordan's not rude, is it?
Okay.
I wanted to talk about size of the wall signs that was brought up before, between 8%, 10%, and 15%.
And we're currently,
We currently have 8, and then, do you have those in here?
Yeah, they're at the very end.
I personally think our signs are big enough. I mean, Voss is a perfect example. That's a nice looking sign, and it still meets 8%.
So Kendall prepared some examples of what we currently have. You can go ahead.
So this is what was approved for Hobby Lobby and it's only 3.3% of the facade. And that's how big it is. That's what it would be at 8% and that would be 10 and that's 15.
What the?
I personally, I mean, it's fun to have this because it's hilarious, but I think 8% works. I mean, I've yet to see a sign that isn't substantial. I mean, Blossom actually needs a sign on their building. but-
Something bigger.
Yeah, but whatever. But they've chosen not to do that. But I think 8%, it's worked. My thing is you guys, like, if we say, change this, that anyone in the city can come and change their sign.
Yeah.
They can come in and make it now 10%. Here, you're gonna show the Vasa one, is it?
Yeah, so there's Vasa at 6.6 right now and 8, not much bigger, 10 and then 15. So I showed the zoomed in and then the whole line there.
Because any business could come in and change their sign. Walmart's can, Smith's can, and then it'll become the battle to who has the biggest sign.
Yeah.
But I'm one of 5, but I just think we should stick with 8.
And then on the secondary, there was a proposal, instead of doing 50% of the primary sign's actual size, to allow 4% on any other side instead. And so just to give you an idea what that would look like, so 50% is this one over here on the left, it's 253. Wow, 253.4 square feet, and then 4% would only be 196.9. But if you look at the Street Tacos Don Joaquin, it's actually a little bit smaller too than what the 50% would be.
I think it's good because, for me, I think it's cleaner, because if someone chooses to do a little bit smaller sign, then we're now making the other one even smaller.
Yeah.
Where by saying it's 8% and 4%, then they actually could have
A bigger
a
sign.
bigger sign on the side.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I
obvi-
mean? It actually gives them more, even though some of them, because the reason why is because Vasa didn't do 8%, full
Yeah,
8%, so that's why they're 50%.
yeah.
You know what I
A lot
mean?
bigger,
Yeah.
And there's gonna be situations where it'd actually be able to have a bigger one on the side, obviously, but
But it's still meeting the same objective of half what they can have.
yeah. And then the monument sign suggested that if they don't do the monument sign, then they're allowed to add a fourth sign, so a third secondary sign on the building. Internal directional sign, this one, just instead of having it have to be a monument or a pedestal, it could actually, or a pedestal, it can actually have a 6-inch round pole, at least 6-inch round pole on it. A lot of them, when I first get them, when they send in the sign permit, a lot of them are a round pole, and we have to shoot that back,
So you're wanting to allow them to do a pole?
Yeah.
Instead of the monument?
At least 6
Then it
inches,
looks,
because
guys,
they're,
then it looks like Orem.
just for the,
Inside the parking lot, that they drive through.
Oh, okay.
yeah, internal directional.
No, that's fine. Yep. You're lucky, like exit only, or whatever, yep. Okay, yep.
Yep.
We talked about that one.
Yeah. Oh. So we missed. Yeah, we wanted to change temporary signs to 60 days instead of 30. That was your proposal.
Again, I think it's being,
Yeah.
And then window signs, you wanted to allow up to 28% of the window.
what is the fine for not taking their sign down? What is our fine?
So what we're really, we start with first contact, we
Yep.
let them know what the rule is. If they don't take it down, we give them a letter, asking, and then after a few weeks, then we give them a notice of violation, and if they don't meet the time limit, it's $25 a day.
We don't get there very often. Have-
Well, we do have some that have gotten there, and
Yeah.
some that have gone to court.
So I'm just wondering, I mean, while we're doing this, and maybe it wouldn't hurt to reevaluate that because we've had to hire another code enforcement person. Maybe our costs, Mark, to the point of our costs of code enforcement have gone up, so 25, maybe we can take that to 30 or 35. I mean, everything else has gone up. I just feel like there needs to be, like, we're giving now 60 days versus 30 days. There needs to also be something, there needs to be a little bit more pain, I guess, on the other side to actually make sure that they're taking them down. And when we talk to the businesses and we send them a note, I really think we should send them a letter and say, hey, we're allowing you 60 days now. And we're allowing these things.
Never have to go
except-
farther than
So
that.
you should not be breaking these rules, but if you do, the fine will now be 40 or 35, whatever. I just think this might be a good time to just look at that.
Okay.
I hate the fact that we have to use code enforcement for this type of thing.
So I changed this on this because the verbiage was, so it says only these signs may be illuminated by LED. So essentially, none of the other signs in the whole city, unless you're a digital changeable copy, could be an LED. And so I changed it to these signs may be illuminated by LED and must have the control sensors and all that. And then we added white as one of the colors that they could use for those. And then up to 25%.
We did get some feedback during the work session that, because we weren't allowing white, we were only allowing red and green, and now we're allowing white. Do you want to keep the red and green as well?
Yeah.
I would keep,
Okay, so this was,
Free tone.
yeah.
That was,
Gotta be consistent here. I mean, come on.
that was.
Okay. That was easy.
And then I think we added a percentage so they can have on the, if there's no sign, they can put more of their window covering, right?
Yeah, that was.
I love that too.
That was, increased it. So on that, so
If they
you're
don't have a
adding
s-
8% of just the window, so it's not increasing it a ton because you're not measuring the whole facade.
Right, just the window,
Just
but it's,
that's
and it's
going.
if they don't have their logo on that elevation.
Yep.
I like that one too.
Yeah, and so this one, we're increasing it from 10% to 25% for the digital changeable copy. And that was it.
Great, thank you.
great changes.
Okay.
So we're good with all those as they
Got the
are.
feedback you needed?
We will write it up.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We do have need for closed session this evening. I'll entertain a motion.
So made.
Have a first?
Second.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Can we take
We'll
five?
move into closed session.
5 minutes.
Jim, can we take